Don Antonio y Goliath. Once there was a very wealthy family that lived in a distant town. That family had two children who had already finished school and were forced to go to the city since they want to study. But they thought, what do we do? Since it is a very large farm and requires a lot of care. Immediately thought, Don Antonio, that old man who lives with his dog in the cabin at the bottom of the forest. Mrs. Beatriz and her husband went to look for Don Antonio in the forest, and the Goliath dog was afraid when they saw them immediately, since it was logical as soon as he looked at them for the first time. Don Antonio left in a hurry thinking that it was an approaching coyote, and when he saw the family of such a good name, he was surprised and asked them, "What brings you to this place so far away?" To which they replied, "Don Antonio, we have heard that you are a very courageous and loyal man, and since we have decided to leave the town since our children have to study, we strongly ask you to be in charge of taking care of our property, since it is one of the largest in the town, and we need it to take care of the cattle, the harvest, and so on, while we are away." Don Antonio accepted the proposal as he was proud to be taken into account. Days later, Don Antonio moved to the farm along with his dog Goliath, where he has daily in charge of feeding the horse, cattle, chickens, and pig. It was very important for Don Antonio to arrive at his cabin every day at exactly 12 p.m. of noon, since he kept a very big secret just like this dog. It was always very curious for everyone to see Don Antonio and his dog in such a condition despite the years they had, because what nobody knew is that when they gave 12 o'clock a day, he became a wicked and ruthless elf that he took advantage to enchant those children who were going to play the forest, until they were perpetually lost in the forest. His dog Goliath has been his faithful companion in all his adventures. It had been 5 years, and the family decided to return to the farm. It was a surprise for Don Antonio to see that the family had grown, since in addition to those young people and their parents who left, their wife and their children also arrived. Mrs. Beatriz gave her gift that, along with her husband and children, had brought Don Antonio in gratitude for her hard work on the farm, since from that moment they would take care of it, and he will return home along with your dog. The days in the farm passed calmly for the family. The adults take charge of the work and the children play, until one day the Blanca girls, granddaughter of Mrs. Beatriz, did of curiosity decide to go to the forest despite her grandmother always advised him not to do it because of the rumors that many children had been lost in him. The girls ran deeper into the forest, getting carried away by the singing of the birds and the different colors of the butterflies, and suddenly she felt lost. She had advanced so much without realizing it. She began to worry. What will I do? To whom? Oh God, I should have listened to my grandmother in everything she told me. Suddenly, she heard a few steps, thought that maybe she was someone who killed her to return home, but no, it was the evil and perverse elf that Don Antonio had become, who now tried to catch her to leave her delighted like the other children, forever lost in the forest. The girl ran, trying to escape, but it was impossible. The goblin caught her just when that elf was going to fulfill her task. The Goliath dog appeared, who pounced on him to prevent him from casting a spell of the girls on the girls, pushing him to the leprechaun to a trap they had made to catch his victims, where they finally died. When Don Antonio died, the great evil goblin Goliath was released from the spell that had fallen on him, and regained his natural form by becoming a child again. After that, he guided the girls to the house. She told them the story, and they were very grateful to Goliath, and they decided to adopt and welcome him in their house. From there, the forest was again the same cozy place, and everyone lived happily forever. Moral: not all people are as they appear. You don't have to trust everyone. And